Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. So for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Sabelle from Sabelle's Beauty Bar. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, guys. So for those of you that have been here before, welcome back, and for those of you that are just arriving here today, make sure you stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to my YouTube channel. It will be the biggest help. Okay guys, so for today's video, what I'm going to be doing is, you guys can already see I've already finished my eye look. I wanted to have a bit of fun today with some colour. To do my eyes today, I'll show you guys what I went in with. I went in with the P. Louise eyeshadow palette. I have had this palette for ages, but I literally just haven't used it at all. I think it's more so, I think when you become a makeup artist, then you end up buying literally every eyeshadow palette you see, and then after that then you forget you even have them to use them. So today I used this eyeshadow palette, and I went in, I'll show you guys what shades I went in with. So I went in with this shade and this shade. Literally this eye look was the easiest, quickest eye look I've ever done. I was aiming for a nice fun Easter look. It's something that's a bit out of my comfort zone. I never really wear these colours or anything like that. I used white liner today, and I've gone in and used the Colourpop Cosmetics felt pen liquid liner. So guys, the reason why I decided to do my eye look off camera is I actually asked you guys what you guys wanted to see and what you wanted me to film, and one of the things that a few of you had said was to focus on how to create a really nice and flawless base. Sometimes I just sort of rush the base because I want the eye look to be more, more the main thing, but today I'm really going to focus on the base with you all and just sort of how to create a nice flawless airbrush sort of face and full on. So firstly what I'm going to do is, I've literally got nothing on my skin. I tanned my face last night, so I've literally got nothing on my skin as of yet. Right now my skin is really just nice and hydrated. I've actually been using Deluxe Skin products. I will show you guys what they look like. As you guys can probably already tell, my skin is doing it so much better at the moment, and it's so much more hydrated. And the reason as to why my skin is so hydrated is because of Deluxe Skin. I can't even explain, guys, how good these products are. This is their charcoal mask, and it's all natural, which I'm all for, all natural products. And it's a charcoal clay mask, comes with a little lid, and literally, as you guys can see, I've literally hacked into it. I use this probably once a week, once every 2 weeks. I don't like to do it too often because I don't want my skin to react to it or anything, but I did this yesterday, and as you guys can tell, this is literally the day after. I've got nothing on my skin, and it's just really nice and glowy and dewy. And every single day I use their deep hydrating moisturizer. This is what it looks like. And I also put it on before I wear makeup. So this is what I'm going to apply first. So the main thing about applying a cream is applying it with Q-tips. So rather than, because you've cleaned your face is nice and clean, it's got no germs and all that stuff on it. By putting your finger that you've touched other things with, obviously my hands are clean, because of this virus, my hands are super clean, but I like using a Q-tip to get out the cream that I want, and using the Q-tip I put the cream on, so that way I'm not spreading bacteria back into my jar. And also I use this cream sometimes on clients, depending on their skin. If they're really dry, I'll use it on my clients. So I just apply it on with a Q-tip, and that saves it from spreading any sort of germs and all that sort of stuff. So this cream is actually super hydrating. It's really nice and thick. I've actually never had a cream that's been this this sort of thick. Yeah, I've actually never used a cream that's been this thick. So So what I'm going to do to blend in this cream is I'm actually going to go in with my Melissa Scene Beauty Blender, my black one. I'm obsessed with them. They come in so many cute different shades, but today I'm going to use black. I thought I'd match. So I'm just going to go in with this and just pat it all. Oh my god, my bangles. My bangles. I'm just going to go in and pat this all into my skin. Just really nice and hydrating before putting on my base. Hey guys, so now as you guys can see, I'm just going to let my skin absorb this for about 5 minutes. Just let it all sit in freshly in my skin. So after 5 minutes, what I'm going to do is I love to spray my face with the Myra Badescu, what even is this? I don't even know. It's a facial spray, so I just like to go in with this. It's also really hydrating. I actually have really, it doesn't look like it, but I have really dry skin. It comes to like my T-zone area, I find, and I get really dry. And I find because I've got a lot of pores there, it dries out my skin a lot. So I find sometimes a bit of a more of a dewier foundation works better. But by the time I put all these facial creams and all that sort of stuff, I find I still need to go sometimes for a matte base because my face will still go a bit oily. It's a bit weird, I don't know. I've got like a combination sort of skin. So I've let that sit for a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and spray the spray. And this is the one with aloe, cucumber and green tea. It's really nice and fresh. So you guys can see I'm really focusing on my skin today. Obviously I'm really like wanting to create that flawless base. So I'm not wanting to rush anything. Sometimes I'm in that much of a rush. It's just like smack on some foundation, put some concealer and a little bit of powder, and that's it. Like I'm really quick with my foundation. Obviously when I'm going out to a function or I'm doing a client, obviously that flawless base needs to be spot on. You can obviously use any foundation, so whatever foundation you've chosen for your particular skin type, you just go with that. Like there's no specific foundation that anyone should use, but for my skin type, which I've got a bit of a combination, I am obsessed with this one. This is the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. Best foundation I've actually ever used. Like it's not best, like I think it's one of the best, sorry, that I've ever used. Like it's really well like formulated. I'm gonna go in with the shade Tan Honey. I'm wearing, it's a bit cold, it's freezing in Melbourne today, so I've got this skivvy on, so I thought Tan Honey, since I've tanned my face, my hands are a bit darker, so we'll go with that. So it is going to be a little bit too dark, but it's going to be enough for later on. So I'm just doing a few squirts. You don't need too much. So I'm just going in with that on my beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend this all out. Not doing any swiping, I'm just patting it into my skin. And by patting it into your skin, you can just literally really... Oh my god, I nearly just dropped this foundation on this top and I would have had a heart attack. Anyway, I'm just patting this all into my skin, and by patting it all into your skin and really pressing it, it's really letting the product really sink into your skin, and you're not applying too much foundation. As you guys saw, I was only applying a few squirts, and by applying those few squirts, you don't even need that much because you're just patting it all in, and you won't have any excess product sitting on your face. This beauty blender that's amazing because if you see the shape of it, it's like the perfect shape to really get into all the areas that you can't really get with a round or a round or just a random beauty blender. So I highly recommend these. I will also be stocking these beauty blenders really soon in the studio, so they will be available for purchase really soon too. Okay, so that is my foundation. As you guys can already see, it looks like clean. It doesn't look cakey. It's perfect. It's like exactly, it's like the perfect base. Like I just feel like I only did 2 squirts of the foundation, and as you guys can already see, the 2 squirts was enough. Like sometimes people go crazy with pouring out foundation onto a palette and stuff, trust me, you don't need a lot. If you have the right, how do I say this? If you prep your face the right way, you won't need as much foundation because your face will be nice and hydrated and stuff, and the foundation will just blend. It will just like spread. So sometimes you don't need as much foundation. And also you're going to go in with a lot of concealers and stuff, so you don't need a lot for your base because you end up recreating a whole base by the time you blend all your concealers and all that sort of stuff. Next, what I'm going to go in with, guys, is now I've finished my foundation, I'm going to go in with my concealers. For my concealers today, what I'm going to go in with is, you guys know, if you don't know already, these are my favorite concealers. They are from Born This Way, and they're the multi-sculpting concealer, and I'm going in with two highlighting shades, and I'm going to be using Porcelain and Neutral Beige. Porcelain is a bit more whiter and a bit too white for this look because I am doing a bit of a bronzy sort of look, but I'm going to take the lighter shade, the lightest one, and I'm applying this just under my eye, just a little bit, because the concealer is really thick itself. Okay, so I've applied that, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply a little bit of it on my chin and just a little bit there. Okay, so I've applied this concealer. Next, what I'm going to do is, this is a little bit more of like a warmer concealer, as I don't want my eyes to be too white, but I do still want them to be nice and like, how do I say it, nice and like highlighted. So with this light, bit warmer concealer, I'm just going underneath and just creating a little bit more of a triangle shape underneath my eye. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to apply any of my other contouring first. So I'm just going to go in and blend all my concealers. So again, with my Melissine Beauty Blender, it's also really, really damp. Okay guys, so once I have applied the high points of my face and concealed my face, next what I'm going to go in with is, obviously guys, this is going to be a full glam, you know, flawless face, like base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my liquid, like a cream contour, and I'm going to use also the Born This Way concealer, and it's in the shade Mocha. So I'm just going to take this in. And just, so when you contour, what you do is pretty much the same as what you're going to do with your bronzer, is you're going to aim for like the top of your ear, which is my ears there, and you're going to aim, like try to line it a little bit with your, like the line of your mouth, the corner of your mouth. So I'm starting up my line there, and then obviously I'm not going to drag it down to my mouth, but I want it to be a little bit higher, I like to bring my cheeks up, so I'm going to curve it a little bit. And that's it. It's just like a nice, easy little curve. You don't need a lot of it because you're still going to go in and do bronzer later on. So once again on the other side, and bring it up. Now I'm doing this in the camera right now, so like I have no mirror or anything, but then I'm just going to go in, and I have a freaking forehead the size of a canvas, so I have plenty of room for contour up here. Obviously, if you have a smaller forehead, you won't need much contour. You might not need contour on your head at all. And my nose, we like to make her mini. So I'm just going to go in and just focus on that. I like to bring my nose pointy, so that's why I do this little like point there, and it makes it a bit more. Okay, so now once I have done that, I'm going to go back in with my Beauty Blender and just pat away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with translucent powder. So I actually like to mix two translucent powders. So I like to go in with the shade Banana Bread from Huda Beauty, and I like to use this one with the Laura Mercier. I only like to mix them because I find the Laura Mercier is really like amazingly well done. Like it's my favorite translucent powder, but I do like to add a little bit of this one because it's got a bit more of like a a warm yellowy tone to it. So mixing them both together I find gives me that like perfect shade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of their lids. So I'm going to use Laura Mercier lid and just apply some of that in there, and then I'm going to apply some of the Huda Beauty one and mix them together. So now that we finally got here, I have got my powders into the lid, and I'm going in with this brush, and it's from Designer Makeup Tools. I think I got this on my makeup course, and it's one of those brushes that you can't get rid of. So yeah, Designer Makeup Tools, it is from there, and it's in the number 128. It's brush number 128. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking it and I use this as my baking brush. So I'm just applying it in there, collecting some things, and then applying this under my eye. Really just pressing, what I'm doing is I'm really just pressing in all this product. Like pretty much to get the flawless base that you want, you just have to really press in the products to your skin. It's a matter of blending and not just letting it look cakey and layery, and just really pressing the product in. So I highly suggest that pretty much everything that you apply to your face, you're pretty much just patting into your skin, which allows the product to actually do its job and really sink in. So what I've done is I've applied this, pretty much where I apply this is where I've applied the concealer. So I'm going to do it on my chin as well. And I find these are the areas that get oily, and I find by putting translucent powder helps reduce that oiliness, and it saves me from, like, you know, having to touch up with powder throughout like the night if I'm going out, or, you know, obviously I can't really go out now with this makeup because I'm stuck at home in isolation, but yeah, talking when I get let out of my little cage. But I'm just applying a bit on my nose because I find this area gets really oily, and I find here with my freaking smile lines, because I smile so much. So I look a bit like a ghost, but it works. So I look like a ghost, don't judge. But you will like my advice when you have the perfect flawless base. So next what I'm going to go in with is with my Morphe brush. I think this is from the Morphe and James Charles brush collection, and I'm going in with the number M405, and I'm just going to blend this out. Okay guys, so now if you want a flawless base, you just gotta go here, because I use these ones for like my highlighting shades, this one obviously to like bronze up my face if I'm tanned, and obviously you have every shade for like every possible tan that you go to, so that you have. So I'm going in with the two darkest shades on the palette, and around everywhere that I didn't like do the baking powder, I'm just gonna go in and press this into my skin. Just making sure my face is nice and set. And I've said this also in another video to do with the face, but when you apply foundation, obviously your foundation is going to be sticky and it's going to be like really like creamy on your skin. When you apply that foundation, you should, like, that foundation isn't set until your skin feels smooth. So like under my eyes right now feels so smooth, but down here I can still feel that bit of stickiness and stuff of that foundation that might, you know, like rub off, or if I kiss someone hello like on the cheek or whatever, that will come off. So the key part to creating a flawless base that's going to last you long is to really make sure that it's set. And you can only know that your face is set if your skin feels smooth and it doesn't have that stickiness of the foundation and the concealers and stuff that you've applied. That's when you know your base is set, and you know that, like, you know, you ain't going anywhere, hun. I'm going to be going in with like two lighter shades. I'm just going to mix them both together, and I'm using this under my eyes just to do a bit more highlighting, to make it a bit more highlighted. And I'm just lightly buffing this in. Guys, so now that I have applied that powder onto my face, I let it sit for about 2 minutes, not too long, and I'm just taking in just like a fluffy brush and just buffing that out into my skin. As you guys can see, it really holds to my skin well, and it makes, you know, it makes like that part look a bit more highlighted underneath my eye. So I've just gone in and done that, and I'm going to do that, just buff it out on the other side too. So for my bronzer, this is probably by far my favourite bronzer. It's the Melissa Cecine Cosmetics bronzer in Golden Goddess. So pretty much these are all the products that I use to create my flawless base. I go in with this and pretty much applying it in the same areas that I applied the contour. So the tip of my ear, aiming for the bottom of my mouth, and just really buffing it out onto my face. This is probably the only thing that you don't really tap. You could sort of like lightly rub it in, and you're just using a really light hand and just buffing it in all the areas where you contoured before. So now that I have bronzed up my face, next what I like to go in with is my MAC blush, and this is in the shade Cheeky Bits, and I find that I don't know if you guys can see really well, but it has like a really nice shimmer. I think I've used this in another video, I'm sure of it. So what I like to do is obviously take my blush brush, and this is from DMT Makeup Tools as well, and it's in the number 418, and it's in 418W. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this in, and I find because this has a shimmer through it, it adds a little bit of brightness and highlight to my face. So I'm just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks really lightly, and actually blending it in to where I've applied my contour. So that way it's sort of creating that blend, and I've become more obsessed with blush lately, so I really like the way it looks and the way it brightens up my face. So just going in and applying that. Once I have my blush on, next I'm going to go in is with my highlighter, and I am just going in with my Dull Light highlighter from Doll Beauty, and it's in the shade Shine Bright, and I'm just going to take this in. You don't need a lot of this because it is really freaking strong, and I just want to apply this just to the tops of my cheekbones. I normally bring it down a little bit lower, but I think I just want it up here today because I don't want it to be too cakey. And now I'm just going to apply a little bit here, a bit brighter. Okay guys, so for my lipstick, what I'm going to go in with is my Jeffree Star Liquid Matte Lipstick. It's in the little mini. This was in the Love Me Not collection. So I am just going to go in with the shade Calabasas. A lot of people really loved this look, and since I'm going for an Easter look, I thought I would add a bit more pink and a bit more brightness. So I'm just going to go in and apply this. Okay guys, so the last thing I'm going to do for this flawless base is I'm just going in with my Too Faced setting spray, and this is the 3-in-1, so it's repellishing primer and also setting spray. So you can use this to prime your face, or you can use it obviously to set. Okay everyone, so that is the finished look for today. I hope you guys gained some intel on how you create a nice and flawless base. I'm not sure if this is sort of the base that you guys were asking for, but this is what I do and this is how I create it. So yeah, this is like my bronzy, glowy sort of base, and I pretty much create this like all the time when I'm going to a function. Obviously not with my eye look, I'm going for an Easter look today. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of what a flawless base would look like and an Easter look. So this is the eyes. And these lips, this lip shade is amazing. I'm like obsessed with it. Okay guys, so that concludes today's video. I hope this was a little bit more entertainment for you guys since we're all still stuck at home. Back on YouTube really soon. I have heaps of content coming and I literally have all the time in the world to be editing and filming. Make sure you guys give this video a massive thumbs up and make sure you guys comment down below if you have any new video suggestions, any questions. In the description box I will have all the details to my social media pages and where you can also book for a makeup application, obviously once I reopen my business. I will hopefully will see you guys all in my next video, and yeah, bye.